The boxing world has witnessed some of the most electrifying moments in sports history, and the clash between Mike Tyson and Tony Tucker in 1987 was no exception. The bout, dubbed One Man, One Crown, One Champion, was a unification fight between two undefeated heavyweights for the world title. While Tyson was the overwhelming pre-fight favorite,
just fight, you're in there fighting, my sparring partner is being paid to go hard and not being paid to take it easy. If they hurt me to back up and they're paid to go hard.
The tall Tony TNT Tucker audaciously showboated against the devastating young puncher, resulting in a spectacular and unforgettable clash. The world watched in fascination as these two undefeated warriors clashed in the ring, leaving an unforgettable impact on boxing history.
I don't disagree at all because Tony's been tying his man up. That was a good right hand.
Due to his father's influence, Tony Tucker chose to become a boxer. Bob Tucker, a former amateur fighter who became his trainer and manager, invested his whole fortune in his son's boxing career. Tony, who competed out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, fought in the light heavyweight division for most of his amateur career, with his advertised weight in the 1979 Pan American Games exactly matching the division's weight limit, 178 pounds. "Believe me, he's better than Leon Spinks," claimed Robert Zirkin, the Amateur Athletic Union's national boxing chairman. Spinks couldn't even grasp this kid's gloves at the same level. Prior to the Olympics, Raleigh Schwartz, former national chairman of the AAU Boxing Commission, stated of Tucker, "Tucker is a combination boxer and puncher. Much like Joe Louis, he charges at you. I'd take him over the two so-called light heavyweight champions any day." Tucker's early fights as a pro were frequently televised on NBC as part of a compilation known as Tomorrow's Champions when he became a pro in 1980. He was meant to travel on LOT Flight 007 on March 14, 1980, but he could not board the plane. That saved his life. Tucker's rise through the professional ranks could have been more active. He was prone to injuries and frequently changed management and trainers. Bob Tucker, his father, eventually took on both duties. Tucker spent most of the 1980s competing in off-TV contests after having a high-profile professional start. In addition, he hurt his knee in a fight against Danny Sutton, forcing him to miss nearly a year. On the undercard of the Tommy Hearns-Roberto Duran fight in June 1984, he knocked out Eddie the Animal Lopez in 9 rounds. Lopez had been knocked down for the first time. He followed it up in September 1984 by appointing Jimmy Young. Tucker eventually got a huge fight in September 1986 when he faced 242-pound James Broad Axe Broad for the USBA belt and a world title eliminator. Tucker was declared the winner by a unanimous vote. In 1987, Home Box Office and Don King Productions planned a heavyweight unification series which included a fight between reigning IBF champion Michael Spinks and Tucker. Spinks refused to fight Tucker in favor of a more lucrative fight with Jerry Cooney. On February 19th, the IBF revoked its championship recognition of Spinks, forcing Tucker, the IBF's #1 ranked contender, to meet the IBF's #2 contender, Buster Douglas. Tucker won the fight and the vacant IBF title with a technical knockout in the 10th round. As the IBF champion, Tucker was obligated to defend his title immediately in a unification contest against WBA and WBC champion Mike Tyson in the tournament final, where Tucker was a 10-1 underdog. 2 weeks before the fight with Tucker, there were rumors that Tyson, 21, had a falling out with trainer Kevin Rooney and had missed training camp for 4 days. The fight was scheduled for 15 rounds at the Las Vegas Hilton, but the WBC intervened and demanded only 12 rounds. They achieved their desire when it was revealed the day before the fight that the battle would occur on December 12th. Iron Mike's mettle was challenged like never before in the first round when Tucker landed a thunderous left uppercut straight on Tyson's chin. Tyson's knees buckled due to the flush shot, sending him staggering back into the center of the ring. Tyson, the indestructible, appeared human all of a sudden. The 21-year-old destroyer had a 30-0, 27 KO record and was the youngest heavyweight ever to win a world title belt, but he was more accustomed to dishing it out than taking it. "That might have been the best shot Tyson has ever taken right there," exclaimed HBO analyst Barry Tompkins of the uppercut. Tucker would be questioned for years about why he didn't follow up on that pinpoint blow. But the truth is, Tyson, who had an excellent chin and was barely wobbled by only one shot, recovered swiftly. He was back on the offensive after round 1, unleashing nasty combinations at Tucker. But TNT was not about to crumble like so many of Tyson's opponents. The tall, chiseled 28 Texan had a comparable record to his opponent, 34-0, 29 KOs, but a far more amateur experience. He used his boxing skills not only to land artillery on Tyson, but also to grandstand and showboat. Tucker was performing all the showman antics against the most deadly hitters in boxing. From cockily calling Tyson in, to extending his left hand and winding up exaggeratedly with his right. On the other hand, Tyson was closing the gap, exhausting Tucker's endurance with thudding body blows and hitting enough clean head smashes to shift the fight in his favor. Tucker showed remarkable fortitude in staying on his feet even when it became evident that he was losing. Tyson eventually won by unanimous decision with scores of 116-112, 118-113, and a 2-wide 119-111.
Heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
For one moment, Tucker had it all. The left uppercut punch starts low, towards the middle rope. It quickly and fiercely catches the fighter with his head down beneath his chin. His head swings back, and sweat pours from his brow. His entire body flinches briefly, and his upper body sags backward. His feet move confusingly. For a second, the fighter in the black trunks appears to be falling backward, but his feet quickly regain their center of gravity, and what appeared to be a watershed moment in boxing history fades away like a soft wind. Mike Tyson was harmed, and the boxer who hurt him was Tony Tucker, a 10-1 shot. It happened in the first minute of the game. Tucker watches his left uppercut on DVD for the 1,000th time over a massive tray of bacon and eggs in his training camp at Big Oaks Lodge in Saugus. He observes Tyson's feet desperately searching for a center of gravity, then observes himself quietly watching chance slip away. "If I could have followed up right there," he continues, pointing with his fork, "I might have been the heavyweight champion today." Instead, Mike Tyson will face Buster Douglas in Tokyo next month for around $8 million, and Tony Tucker will meet Calvin Jones at the Forum on Monday night for $15,000. Tucker claims it's all because of a hurting hand. "I couldn't follow up on what I did when I hurt him because my right hand was broken," he explains. "I wanted to. I knew he was hurt, but I held back subconsciously because of the hand. I'd have been on his buttocks with both feet if it hadn't been for my hand." Tucker had 4 fractured pieces on the side of his right hand after the fight, indicating that he had fought in excruciating discomfort. Tucker is carrying a doctor's letter describing his injury. Let's jump ahead to round 12. Tyson is in the lead regarding points, but Tucker is still active in the fight. Tyson fights furiously but fails to land a knockout punch. On the other hand, Tucker cracks Tyson numerous times with left punches to the head. Tucker uses his left hand often in the last round. He has only thrown 1 right hand in the first 2 minutes of the round. He throws 5 right hands in the last seconds with everything on the line. "I think I broke my hand in training. It was sore 10 days before the fight," he explains. "However, everyone kept telling me it was strained tendons. Thought the battle should have been called off, but it was pointed out that if I pulled out, I'd be blackballed for life. I'm not naming names, but there was big economics involved," says Robert Tucker, Tony's father and manager. "We were all pressured to go through with the fight." The heavyweight fight between Mike Tyson and Tony Tucker was a historical event that featured the best of the sport. Both fighters brought their A game to the ring, resulting in a thrilling and unforgettable fight that will be remembered for years. So what do you think? Who will emerge victorious in the upcoming Fury vs. Usyk fight? Will it live up to the legendary Tyson vs. Tucker bout hype? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, remember to like and subscribe to stay updated on all our latest content.